I'll move on and I'll eat some sauce and I'll be humble. I'll own it and I'm gonna try and pick a different team every week, just so that way I'm not just picking and choosing from one team because I want to outline the whole NFC South as much as possible. But my be humble this week is definitely going to be Jamal Dean. Uh, I think Jamal Dean had an absolutely unbelievable week. 2 interceptions. He was the direct result of 10 points in the fourth. So ultimately, without Jamal Dean, I don't know if the Bucks would have won that game. I'm not just saying it's a one-person game, all in all, but yeah, he's something else. He really is, and he's definitely very. It's very fortunate for the Bucks to have him on defense. I will say that. So, that's mine for this week.
My opposing player that I'm gonna be humble and I'm gonna shout this guy out. And this is kind of a crossover because I'm also, as you know, a Washington fan. And all off season, I was saying Washington needs a big, tall, bulky receiver that can go, jump up, a Mike Evans type that can get it in the goal line, throw that little goal line fade. And there was another team. This guy who took him before we could get him, Drake London. You talked about him, Kyle. That guy absolutely balled out. Every week I'm just like, well, I'm not as much because, Jahan Dotson getting it done. But
Jahan Dotson's unreal.
Yeah. Jahan Dotson got 4 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks, so I'm good with that. But as far as my Panthers, Rob Yanders, I mean, our best receiver, DJ Moore, and then Chris McCaffrey, between those two guys, you kind of wish you had another threat. And that would be somebody that I would love to bring if they were to bring over there. But you saw what he had: 8 catches, over 80 yards, had the TD. Like he's a monster, and it's so good that he's performing well and early like he is. Because if you see in the same game, Kyle Pitts didn't necessarily have the best game. So to have your rookie come out and do that with a guy that you're not really sold on in Mariota, even though he's got a live arm, but he also does kind of toss to the wrong team a couple times. So, definitely Drake London. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I love it. No, I guess from all of an outsider's perspective, do you blame Kyle Pitts' success on Arthur Smith, or do you think it's a Kyle Pitts thing?
In the first year, I mean, I really honestly thought it was. I mean, he was all they had when he was on the field, and I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. Now this year, it's kind of like, for me, the weird part about y'all is Cordero Patterson. I've always liked him when he was with, Chicago and, all the different things he could do. But it's just like when he just does so many different things, I think sometimes if you try to get him and then Drake London the ball, somebody's not going to, there's not enough balls to go around. So somebody's not going to eat. So sometimes Kyle Pitts is not going to get it. And it's kind of like, it's weird because how he came out of college, this man amongst boys, this tight end that could be a wide receiver, that type of thing. You expect him to do it every week, but hey, people have an off week. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a problem or that, it was, Blank's problem or anything like that. Let's just see what happens, throughout this year. And I mean, if they can get London, Pitts, Patterson, these guys all going on the same game, like it'll be dangerous. Definitely be dangerous. So yeah, but London's my guy for this week.
Fair enough. I guess Nicole, who's your be humble this week?
I'm being really, really humble. And now, if this guy gets into a fight, then there's something wrong with who I pick. But let's cross our fingers because it's on the Bucks team. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Jamel Dean.
Awesome.
Who is on the defensive side there. He recorded 2 impressive interceptions. He is 4 years experience, 25 years of age. He weighs 206 pounds, and he went to college in Auburn. So, in the last corner,
page, eh?
yeah.
Love it.
But in all honesty, those interceptions, I know that he hasn't really got as much stats built up on his his resume, but I think this is a good start to keep adding those onto the resume, and for like, whoa, once you get that little taste of those interceptions, you kind of want it more, and you feel your team. You're like you're driving down more forward in it forever. So I think he's something to watch out for.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think like the Bucks defense, if they keep it kind of like how it is, obviously with little movement, I can see it being like a Vikings team like 5 years ago.
Ooh.
All right.
I can see it being like a Bucks defense from like 2002. You know what I'm saying? The greatest defense of all time.
Turn the camera on for that one.
All time. Nick Rosario and everybody else, like Raven fans. Anyway, I gotta be humble to the other teams. I forgot about this. Just kidding. I'm actually gonna be humble to the New Orleans Saints and give them praise a little bit more, like I was doing there earlier. Marshon Lattimore of the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
It's like the only time Colin Cowherd used to talk about like players when they go on the field and they can actually like sway a Vegas vote in like an actual point or a unit, whatever you want to call it. When he's on the field against us, we can't do anything. The second you take him off of the field, look what we did. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why like he's so good. Like if he's not there, like it's not to say like it falls apart or anything like that, because they still played exceptionally well on the defensive side of the Saints. But he is that guy. He is literally that guy for the New Orleans Saints, where it's like AJ Terrell is for the Falcons, and where I'm trying to remember his name there for the Carolina Panthers. That would be
Robbie Moore.
No, the corner there. I can't remember his name.
J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
So good.
And they also got a couple other they're pretty good too. So like shout out to the Carolina Panthers. But like no, I love Carlton Davis, but there's nobody better for corners in our division, in my opinion, of course, because I know Kyle will come in there and say, well, AJ Terrell is really good.
Well, not the first 2 games.
Marshon Lattimore literally changes the outcomes between the Saints and the Buccaneer game. So I gotta eat some humble apple pie here and go with Marshon Lattimore.
I love it. You know what? We definitely need like a little thing like be humble. Yeah. Be humble. That's all that's
we'll get to the lab
about this. Like
be humble, do not fumble.
Yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, no.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.